All right. So I just saw a Seth Rogan picture movie, An American Pickle, and I have to say, this is a solid movie that Seth Rogan starred in. As a Jewish person, I get the Jewish humor in this, but this film is not all about humor. It's not just a comedy. It's there's drama, issues, no political issues. They're dealing are going on in the real world a little bit. Um, some heartfelt moments, some sadness to this film. Yeah, it was an all-around film. It's portrayed as a comedy, but it's one of those comedies that had a story and a lot of different things going for it. And if you're Jewish, you get most of the Jewish humor in this, or the Jewish way of life back 100 years ago. How the Jews were like 100 years ago, especially in Europe, where the main character named Herschel Greenbaum, from a small town. I think it was in Russia, right? So yeah, obviously it's played by Seth Rogan. Moves to America, gets married, moves to America with his wife. I'm not gonna spell everything, but he works at a factory, pickle factory, falls into a vat of pickles with pickle juice, and gets preserved there for 100 years. 100 years later, he's found alive, released, and goes to live with his great grandson. Um, his great grandson, also played by Seth Rogen, who is a is a struggling app developer. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you that he struggles with making an app. That's what he's doing. Takes his great grandfather into his apartment. Someone's around a bit, of course, because his grandfather, from 100 years ago, has obviously hasn't seen how the world advanced in 100 years of new technology. See there, new vehicles, whatever, new technologies, new ways of life. How 100 years later things are different. He has to adjust to that, right? But his his old ways are still with him. He's a religious Jew, an Orthodox Jew. So if you're Jewish, you know what I mean by Orthodox. He keeps kosher. He does the Sabbath, which is every Friday, Saturday at sundown. You It's a day of rest. If you're religious, no electricity, no no what else? No electricity, of course. No working on stuff. No cutting until sundown the next day on Saturday. It's a rest day. Um, so he set his old ways. He wants to know what happens to his family, so his great grandson tells him. But the thing is, what these connects these two. They're related, but they're completely opposite. Of course, the grandson, played also by Seth Rogen, not religious, hasn't said Kaddish, which is for non-Jews. Kaddish is a prayer that mourner's Kaddish is a prayer that a Jewish person would say for their parents who passed away, brother, sister, or child. God forbid that doesn't happen. For parents, you have to say it for a year. For a brother, sister, for a month, and for a child, I believe it's a year too. And then after the year's up for a parent, you have to say it once a year, called a year sight. So after a year, then a year on from now, if I'm like, so you have to say Kaddish. I said like when my father passed away, I said Kaddish for a year. 2013, from October 2013, 12 to 2013, I say it for my father. And then from 2013 on to now, I only have to say it once a year, and that's when he passed away in October. And as for a Jewish person, for your non-Jews, that's how I say Kaddish. It's to ease the soul for your loved ones. So yeah, but the thing is, these two end up in a fight because Herschel does some stuff that his grandson doesn't like, costing him some big time stuff. Um, Herschel ends up becoming a success, but his own beliefs get in the way. I'm not going to tell you what those beliefs are, um, causing a downfall for him. Becomes a huge success with that, with an idea that I'm not gonna spoil, but you probably know what it is. But his own beliefs, he says publicly. That's where the political stuff comes in. But I'm not gonna say whether they are. It's his own downfall. It's just this one line, one thing he said specifically against a certain religion. I'm not gonna say which religion. That was his. That was it. That was the last straw that made his major downfall, and the whole country was turning on him. But there were some heartfelt moments. See, his grandson explaining what happened to Herschel's wife, child, and then grandson and grandma, and a grandson who is Herschel's great grandson's father. Then what happened over the 100 years, and especially for the grandson, you see why he was having a bad time. Why Herschel cost him one of his biggest dreams about his biggest dreams. I'm not gonna tell you why, but later on you'll see why, and Herschel comes to realize why his idea was more than just an idea. It meant more to his grandson. I'll let you see it. Seth Rogan was the majority of the movie. Like 95% of the people in the movie was Seth Rogan. Played both roles. Um, Clean shaving as a grandson here, very religious from a village in I think it's Russia. That's what he talks very. He talks like what a Jewish person would in Europe. He's Ashkenazi. That's an Ashkenazi accent. There's a little bit of Yiddish and Hebrew in it. If you know, Yiddish is custom Eastern Europe. It's a dialect. The thing is, he's very ignorant. He doesn't realize what he's saying can because it can hurt him and it's hurt. But obviously, the beliefs are different. His son is not religious at all. He's religious. The ideas are different because as time goes on, the world is different. But it's heartfelt moments. It's not a lot of comedy in it. They again they have a major fight that goes on for more than half the movie where his grandson is envy of his great grandfather success. Yeah, he gets successful, so he tries to ruin him because of one major fight that cost his great grandson's dream. Obviously they eventually make up. But I'm not gonna tell you how. So even if you're not Jewish, check out this film. If you're Jewish, you're gonna love this film. But it's for everyone. Um, if you have trouble asking, if you have trouble understanding how Jewish way of life, how Herschel portrayed a Jewish perspective in Eastern Europe, just comment below, and I'll tell you how it was like back then. I know I wasn't around back then, but I'm Jewish. I know the history, and I can just tell you, and I'll reply to your comments. So, I'm not gonna rate this, but I suggest you see it. It's on HBO Max. So just stream it on your TV or computer or whatever. All right. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and comment below.